Morning all. So this is my new bike. So this is replacing the 2016 Boardman that has been a great workhorse, to be fair, and considering how much it cost, absolutely brilliant bike. Anyway, I fancied something new, so this isn't new, I bought it second-hand. This is a 2022 Trek Domane SLR7. It's a Project 1 version, so it's got a really kind of cool green-purple flip metallic paint job. So one time you're riding it and you're looking along, it looks this really dark metallic green. Another view, it's a sort of dark metallic purple. Anyway, it's the previous generation frame, so it's the generation 3 model, which has the ISOSpeed front and rear. And for those of you that don't know, ISOSpeed is meant to be a sort of form of shock absorbers to just reduce the harshness of the ride. Now, I have to be honest, I don't know what the settings are set to on this at the moment. I haven't really looked at it. It's a nice ride though. It's certainly a lot less harsh than the Boardman. Yeah, it's a nice bike so far. I did about 50 kilometers on it yesterday. I'm about 12 kilometers in today, just nicely rolling along. So its weight, it's not a light bike by any means. It's coming in at about 8.8 kilograms with all the other bits and bobs attached to it, which everybody mentioned about these bikes at the time they were released. For this cost of this bike and the level it's aimed at, that's pretty heavy. However, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm quite thin. I don't weigh a lot, so any change in weight on the bike has quite a big percentage effect on me. I don't know whether that's psychological. Perhaps it is. Perhaps that's just my own craziness. But regardless, so this is, although it's heavy for what you would be paying for this bike, it's still 1.2 kilograms, about 1.2 kilograms lighter than the Boardman. So for me personally, although this is going to be my second bike, and I appreciate for a lot of people, this bike is perfectly good bike for all occasions, really. Those two are rattling along. I wonder how fast they're rattling along. I'm sat at 28, they're not really going that quick actually, just that I'm pottering about. Anyway, yeah, a couple of other things. This has got the Ultegra DI group set. It's the R8150 group set, 12 speed. And yeah, it's running a 5034 compact crank, which again is unusual for me. So I think my Boardman's running a 5339 with a 32 at the back, and the Carnargo's a 5236. with a 30 at the back, I think. Might even be 29. Anyway, so yeah, the gearing on this is quite forgiving as well. So yeah, I'm going to keep this bike in this format for probably a couple of months now, just because I haven't got any money. But there's still things on it I'd like to change. So it's running 25mm tyres. This actually has 25mm inner rims, so this can take really large tyres. I think it will take up to a 38, so you can actually use it as a gravel bike, which is one of the reasons I bought it. It's also got mudguard mounts, which I really like. Anyway, I keep saying anyway. The tyres need to go, but they're brand new tyres, so I'm loath to throw them away. So I'm going to use them and moan about them all the time. It's got the standard handlebars that came with these bikes, which are just round carbon, I think, and they're really horrible. I know this is subjective, but for me, all of my other bikes have like a nice flat top section bar, and they're wider as well. The actual diameter of the tubing is wider, just a sort of fatter feel as you're riding. These are really thin, I don't really like them, so yeah, these handlebars need to go. But again, handlebars are so expensive, it'll have to wait. I could take the ones off the Boardman, but the ones on the Boardman are sort of AliExpress knockoffs. They've been on there for 3 or 4 years, no problems. But this is quite a nice bike to put some counterfeit, I think they're counterfeit Eastman bars. So yeah, new bars, new seats, really needed before I can really enjoy riding this bike. That said, it's still a very nice bike. Yeah, it has under the water bottles on the main down tube. There's a nice little storage area under the bottles. That's quite nice, although it is kind of limited. Or there's a lot of space. The actual hole is quite small, so it's kind of difficult threading everything through into that tube. Seems to be involved in some sort of run. I never see any adverts or anything for these runs. I could have got up this morning and done a quick 10k against the clock. That would have been quite enjoyable. I only ever see them when I'm either out running on my own or out on my bike. Must be some sort of no homers club that I'm not involved in or invited into. Sort of gaijin free zone. So yeah, that's pretty much the review of the bike. It's, yeah, nearly, I guess it's nearly 2 kilograms heavier than the Colnago, and that's a lot of weight. You certainly feel it when you're accelerating, but once you're actually riding along, bike feels pretty lively. And it's definitely a nice, comfortable ride. I paid, in the end I paid about 425,000 yen for this, and I think they're just under 1,000,000 yen new, so it's a second-hand buy. I probably could have got it a bit cheaper, but still an awful lot of bike for the money. And we'll see, I'll do a long-term test in a few months, but at the moment I have to say it's a very nice bike. And with that, I will sign off for today. Enjoy your riding, ride safe.